Yo guys, what is up? Joey's Gaming here, back with another Borderlands 3 build video. Now in today's build video, we're going over my Evil Dread MOZE build. Now this is a build I've been, streaming with, well, not too long ago, yesterday and I think a little bit Wednesday. But this is the build I've teased around a little bit. And it's pretty insane, alright? It's pretty insane. It is a Terror MOZE build. Now I know you cannot get Terror Annoyance anymore, and you cannot get like Terror Gear at the moment because the event is over. But if you did trade with people that or did play during the event, you might be able to come up with the gear for this build, or if you're on PS4, I will do a build drop later, probably today or tomorrow, or whenever I'm online. I could probably do build drops for you guys if you guys want to try out this build. It is completely insane. You have infinite ammo, crazy amounts of damage, and and it uses terror. I've never played a fully like a build that with terror that I was like happy with. I've never had a good terror build that I liked that was not using the Lucky 7, because we all know like jolts. But that aside, this build is honestly so crazy. Like I'm this build is so fun. So the main like gear you need for the skill tree, well, the gear for the build, is basically you need a terror face puncher that has like melee attacks have 25% chance to apply terror. Basically, you shoot this once and you get max terror stacks. You can stack terror up to 3 times, and you'll get different benefits or different downsides, and I'll get to that later in the build. But basically, this is how you're going to apply terror to yourself, since my setup does not have the best action skill cooldown, and we're mostly using long action skill cooldown to get the most out of big surplus, which is extra damage, and we do not want our cooldown to go to come back soon, so we cannot use ASC terror. So I'm using the face puncher that has apply terror. Now on your shield or grenade, you can swap the annoyance. That doesn't matter, but you want at least the shield or the grenade to have while terrified damage and fire rate. Basically, this will give you a ton of fire rate and a ton of damage the more terror you have. And you want terror armor regen, which this is, by the way, so broken. Like this terror ammo regen is absolutely broken. At max terror stacks at 3 out of 3, you get, I think, 16% of your mag size per second as ammo regen. Top that off with redistribution in MOZE's green tree. If you have an extra skill point from your class mod on top of that, you'll get a total of, I think it's about 26% of your mag per second. So if you hit crits, you're basically going to have ammo out the wazoo, as you would say. But yeah, so this is a Minesweeper terror setup, but we also have a Rocketeer. Now the Rocketeer is for mobbing, and the Minesweeper is for raid bossing, or just bossing in general. Because Minesweeper, with the setup that we have, has a very high chance to blow you up. That's not that good, because, well, you don't want to blow yourself up, because, well, you won't be able to dish out enough damage, or like you're still able to dish out damage and fight for your life, but you don't want to go down every 2 seconds and then have your fight for your life be like super short and you're like halfway through a takedown or halfway through a boss of some sort. So basically, yeah, for Rocketeer, just use just for mobbing, just Rocketeer. Big surplus is going to carry you for that extra damage that the Minesweeper gets, but for bossing, definitely use the Minesweeper. It is so broken. Minesweeper is like super insane. You can use basically any weapons for bossing, it'll work because of the Minesweeper. As long as you have like a big max size, it'll work. So as far as weapons go, we're using consecutive hits on mostly everything. If you want to try one-shotting, enemies, you can use 390, but you will not one-shot most boss. Well, you will one-shot some of the bosses in this game, but like Grave Ward, for example, you cannot one-shot him because he has some kind of health gate that makes it so you have to do 3 types of damage instances at the same time to one-shot him, or like, to get past his health gate. So, the 390 is good, but I prefer consecutive hits just because this build focuses a lot on heavy fire, like fire rate, damage, and stuff is very much coming so from your constant fire rate, which I do have some of the weapons here with double times pellets, like the double variant. But you will honestly do kind of better with the times 1 versions, just because you can sustain your ammo for longer and that'll be more DPS. So there's that. For the weapons, like I said, you can use anything you want. As you can see on the save file, we have kick chargers, we have some rocket launchers, we have the Sandhawk, which is very good, and we also have the main focus of this build, which I really wanted to do, was the Shreddifier. Now this weapon, it's not that great. All right, the Shreddifier is not that great. It's okay. It can do well for mobbing, and some bossing, but like for raid bossing, it's not the best. I definitely recommend the Monarch over it. It's just better in general. But this gun is so fun. I have the double variants, the double chain gun variants for every single element, with consecutive hits and times 2 pellets. Now, for bossing, definitely switch to the double gun variant, but for mobbing, I just recommend to use a rad, or like if you're doing like Malawan mobbing is what I usually do. Use a rad one. Don't use double gun. You'll shred everything anyways. Oh, also, I have to mention, I have an OPQ on the build. It is not level 65, but we are getting the cartel event back soon, so I will update the build save with a level 65 one once it does drop. So yeah, like I said, use anything you want. Your shield has to, well, it doesn't have to be an old god, but it has to be one of the Terror Anoints, because how Terror works is it'll make your accuracy like very bad if you do not have a Terror Anoint. And I thought you needed a Terror Anoint on your weapon, but if as long as you have a Terror Anoint on your shield or grenade, you will not get any downsides from Terror, which is amazing. So going on to the skill tree, I'm gonna go with the orange tree first. We have 5 out of 5 on armored infantry for extra damage and damage reduction. It's always nice. We have Drowning in Brass maxed out as well for some of MOZE's best gun damage. She gets my negative fire rate, but honestly, with all our buffs and everything, you don't even notice it. And we have Experimental Munitions to get an extra 15% incendiary damage on crits, which obliterates anything health bar related. For the green tree, we basically picked up everything to get scorching RPMs. Cloud of Lead is going to help us with ammo sustain and also better incendiary damage. Soak the Embers boost every incendiary damage you deal. So in general, like MOZE, this build, if you're using incendiary and you're versus health bars, health enemies, you'll basically not see them anymore like in 2 seconds because they're just gonna die instantly. Redistribution, as I said before, this is ammo regen that is completely insane. with the ammo regen that we have from our terror, and it gives you a little bit of health regen. That's if you like, well, it's pretty useless. The health regen is pretty useless because we have Vampire in the blue tree. We have one in Scrappy. Now this helps you out a little bit with extra gun damage, handling, weapon swap speed, and mode switch speed, which is nice. But if you really wanted to, you could put a point into Docker Bear, but like I'm not spec'd into Auto Bear myself, so I decided to put one in Scrappy because best damage, I guess. For the last skill in the green tree, we have Scorching RPMs maxed out because the maximum amount of fire rate on this build, extra crit damage, and apparently, well, not apparently, Scorching RPMs, the Iron Bear damage boosts Skagden for whatever reason, so MOZE is broken. So, moving on to the purple tree, we have maxed out Big Surplus to give us extra damage. It's not 15%, it's not 50%, it's about 400 or something percent damage on literally anything you do. Grenade, gun, melee, I believe melee as well. Anything will get a huge incendiary damage boost out of this if your action skills on cooldown. So we have very low action skill cooldown to get the most out of Big Surplus. We have 2 points in biofuel. This is just to move down the tree. You could put them in really big guns if you want some extra Iron Bear damage, but like I said, Iron Bear for me is just to debuff. We have 5 out of 5 on Harmonious Avok. God, I cannot say that for the life of me. But basically this will increase your gun damage by 10% per matching element. Basically what you want to do is, if you're going to fight like let's say a boss that is health bar, you'll want a fire weapon here, and a fire alt god. You'll have 40% extra gun damage at all times with that setup. If you're fighting different health bar enemies, or if you're going through a takedown, just keep in mind, what do you want more damage with? Do you want more damage against the corrosive health bar, the fire health bar, or the shock health bar? And mix and match. Just know that your old god counts as one. So basically what I have right now is I have 2 corrosive weapons and a fire monarch with a fire old god, which will give me 20% extra gun damage at all times when I'm firing, which is nice. So there's that, because of the skill. And we also have Fired Up in the purple tree. This will give you extra fire rate if you apply a status effect, and you can actually stack up fire. Like, if you apply a dot of fire, you can apply another one on the same enemy. It'll just reset its duration. And if your dot has better damage, well, it'll increase and whatnot. But this will give you extra fire rate, 5% per stack in the max stack at 25%, so 5 stacks, and this gives you extra fire rate. So again, we're going for max fire rate on this build. Now moving on to the blue tree, it looks like a pretty standard blue tree. We picked Skagden, Torque Cross promotion for splash damage. Skagden is completely busted. It's so much splash damage. You'll need it. Stainless Steel Bear also boosts Skagden, so do be sure to pick that up. We have Means of Destruction for some grenade regen. The ammo regen, we literally do not care. we're here for the grenade regen because spamming grenades is nice. Pull the Holy Pen. You can move 2 points from this and put 1 into Auto Bear. Or like, you can move 1 point there and put it into Auto Bear if you want Auto Bear, but I do not use Auto Bear. I just pop into Iron Bear to debuff. and that's it. So I have 3 out of 3 on Pull the Elite Pin, which enables my cloning matting tracker to hit crits. Now Vampire is for health regen, so my CMT is hitting for like 27 times. I'll get 27 times hits of 12% of my HP back, which is how I sustain myself during well, takedowns and boss fights that just like spray you down with bullets and stuff like that give you health gate very easily. Now I put a point to the last because in Fight for Your Life, if ever I don't see an enemy, I can just throw a CMT. The CMT will track him and start hitting him, and I have a Guardian Ring skill that makes it so I can have like longer Fight for Your Life time if I hit an enemy and such. So that's the only reason why I put it in a point there, because we do not have the on grenade thrown anoint on our grenade. We wouldn't need to the last. So next skill, Short Fuse. This even though this was nerfed by 25%, it is still absolutely broken. It is still a absolutely broken skill that scales off of Mayhem mode, and since we're on Mayhem 11, Mayhem 10, 11, it's absolutely bonkers. So going over our Guardian rank, something I sometimes forget to show. This is my Guardian rank. All you need to know is that I have topped off off, and that you can see my bonus stats are right there. I do enable Guardian rank, and you should too, just because it's nice. If you do not want to use Guardian rank, you can. If you are lower level in Guardian rank, you can just disable your Guardian rank. It will work just as fine. Do not worry about that. For our Mayhem modifiers, we're on Mayhem 11, no modifiers. But for Mayhem 10, this is pretty much the modifiers I'd use. Postmortem, just make sure you kill the death skulls, because it's just annoying. That's why I play on Mayhem 11. I don't really like the Mayhem skulls and stuff. So yeah, I'll do a Hemovirus fight real quick. Just know I will go down. Maybe I'll die. I'm not too sure. I'm just very bad at the Hemo fight. Not because like I suck, just because I'm not used to it yet. But yeah, as you can see, the damage is pretty nice outside of Terror. But damage comes in like really nice when you do have Terror applied. So let's apply Terror. And as you can see, like my accuracy is completely fine. Also Groundbreaker. So sometimes I do get the... Oh, it's a red one. Nice. I'm gonna get the damage penalty. Because you do get damage penalty if you go against like an enemy's resistance to fire. You do get a damage penalty because you cannot use, Skagden properly and stuff like that. So yeah, there's that. This guy, and flying enemies are that move near you or like towards you are kind of annoying. Sorry, this looks like a bad fight. Can you stop? Okay, so this is a very bad looking fight. I tested it on Hemo, like right before I recorded this. I did a test, and this guy was not flying all around like this, so... Yeah, flying enemies are just a pain in this game, honestly. But there you go. It doesn't mean that the damage is bad, it's just that... Holy damn. Alright, Hemo time. Ow. Alright, that's fine. So just spam your CMT and you should get some back pretty easily, especially in this fight. Like you get stuff easily. God damn it! All right, sorry for it being a weird fight because I cannot hit the crit for the life of me. And well, for bossing you kinda do need to hit the crit. If you want a better boss fight than this, go check out my yesterday's stream. It was so much better than this. Alright, so debuff, and you apply terror to yourself, and then you can start shredding, like that. Now that's some nice damage. I hate the fact that they're flying enemies. There's a flying like stage to them. I absolutely hate that. God damn it! I might die. I might die here. Nope. Still good. Oh, this guy is Hemo. So there you go. There's the chunks of Minesweeper proccing. I don't know why it wasn't proccing all that much before. But there you go, that's basically the emo fight. There's just Vermivorous left. Which shouldn't be a problem if I can hit the crit spot. Now he's going up in the air, he's gonna be a bishop at it as well. Can y'all stop? Not do that, please. There you go. But yeah, the build is better than this. Alright, I know this didn't look that good. Like it didn't look like it absolutely tore through the raid boss, but it does. It does. Sorry, mic unplugged for absolutely no reason, but it does tear through. What I was going to say is, it does tear through them if like I don't know what is not working right now. Probably Minesweeper not proccing properly, but it does tear through everything. I've tested mostly everything. Guardian Takedown is an absolute pain to do, so I'm not testing that. But you can do Guardian Takedown as well. Just be careful in the Guardian Takedown because it is such a pain. Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed the build video, be sure to like, subscribe if you want to see some more builds, and yeah, this has been Joyous Gaming. I'll be out. Goodbye, guys.